Parish Commission work session for November 16 to order. Roll call, please.
Dominic, Johnson, Williams, Lynn, Bowman, Hawthorne, Gage Watts, Escadade, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Could you leave us in the invocation?
Yes.
Get Commissioner Escadade to lead us in invocation and Commissioner Smith to lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to be here today. We ask your blessings on the work that we do. We ask your special blessings over the country of France and be with them in what they're going through. Certainly let it be a wake-up call to all the rest of us, especially in this country, so that we can protect our interest and do what's right in your name. Special blessings on all the men and women who wear the uniform to keep us safe and protect us. And we ask that you let us all be mindful in this coming holiday season about what we're here for on this earth and make your purpose clear to us. We ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Turn and face the flag, pledge with me. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is agenda additions. I do have one. I'd like to add a proclamation for Mr. James Buggs. He's a World War II veteran.
Oh, sorry.
I want to put on the
Second to expand the agenda.
Okay, it's been moved by the chair, seconded by Mr. Dominique to extend the agenda. Let's vote on that. That passes 9-0 to extend the agenda. And the other part of that is to put it under new business as a proclamation. So I move that.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Dominique to add that under new business. Let's vote. That passes 9-0. Commissioner Cox.
Also would like to expand the agenda to let the mayor of Greenwood and his staff come forward.
Second.
All right. Been moved by Commissioner Cox,
We can put that
seconded
under
by
business.
Commissioner Lynn to move the mayor of Greenwood to our visitor section. Let's vote.
Can I forget?
That passes 9-0. Next item.
Let's move to citizen comments.
Citizens who wish to address the commission must fill out a comment card and forward to myself or the clerk of the commission. Comments by any citizen will be limited to 3 minutes. Presently, I don't have any.
I don't either, no.
Okay, next item.
Next, we move to visitors.
Okay.
Mr. John Grindley, Cohabitat, Executive Director.
If you, see, I punched my button.
Okay,
Move them to Thursday, please.
okay.
Second.
We'll move that to Thursday. I gotta vote on it.
Okay.
All right, so now we'll move down to the mayor of Greenwood.
That was quick.
Man. God, you must have that dick stack.
You're gonna go the long way around.
We're, Mayor's under amen.
Mr. Mayor, you can bring your whole staff up and introduce them if you like.
Well, I think that they would probably prefer to be introduced where they are. And I certainly will do that. Veronica Brown is my clerk. I'm her assistant.
Yeah.
Brad Edwards, he is the mayor pro tem and my alderman. And I also have Jimmy Hagan, Baylor.
You left him home.
I thought about that. But I really thought that maybe you might have a question or something that was beyond my scope. I'm Frank Stavish, Mayor of Greenwood. I do appreciate the opportunity to be here today to speak with you. In the papers that I'm handing out right now, I'm giving a little background on what we have been doing in Greenwood. I took office in Greenwood approximately 3.5 years ago as mayor. Prior to that, I did serve as alderman at large. One of the first things that I recognized as the mayor is we had a tremendous amount of infrastructure issues that needed to be addressed. And I don't think any community can effectively grow without water and sewer at the best level. So we went ahead and we started. And I have had it, it's approved, it's under construction. We have a $5.25 million bond through the DHH revolving water fund to build a new water treatment facility where the plant will have 4 membrane systems in it with the capability of adding another 4, which will give us 8. With the 4 units in there, we'll be able to produce over 1.25 million gallons a day of water for the town, something that we sorely need. Currently, we have wells that we use to supplement, and we are also tied into Shreveport Water, and we use that particularly in the summer months when the heavy watering is necessary. But in addition to that, we've also had a lot of issues. I've gone back in the records back to 2005, a lot of complaints of brown water, odor, smell, the things that every community at one time or another has experienced. And I don't want to just put a new water plant in, I want to deliver new clean water to the residents. We have had all of our water tanks cleaned. They have been recoated, and when the water from the new plant starts flowing, it will be clean water going in. We plan to do hard flushes of our water system to remove any residue that might remain within the system. I'm doing everything that I know to do, and under the advice of the Rural Water Association and my engineers, we are trying to make this a very good water and sewer system for the community. Some things that we've done that I wanted to highlight, now I can't take credit for all these. Some of this, the Shirley Francis Road project, we did that as I took office, but all of the work was done by the previous administration. We did install a new water system up there, a water line up there. Golden Meadows, this was another one that was done by the previous administration. We had some areas where we needed to increase the size of the water lines. We've done that. Timberline, that is part of this bond that we're doing. We are running an 8-inch water line. We're replacing one of the water tanks. We're going to put in a variable speed pump system to provide water to the folks in Timberline. We've added security at our plant, and of course as the new plant comes on, we will be enhancing that. Where I am right now is the sewer. And that as we improve our water system, naturally we're going to have a greater demand upon the sewer system. At the present time, our treatment facility is adequate. We project that it will be adequate for several years. But the pumps, the lift stations, getting the water, the sewer water to the treatment has been a problem. I currently have received, and we are operating on a grant of $262,000 to rebuild. Actually, and when I say rebuild, we are actually moving and rebuilding 2 lift stations. These are very critical, and if I had brought you the pictures, you would understand what I'm talking about, but they are literally about to fall into the creek. One of the things we're attempting to do is move it back from the creek so we don't have that particular liability hanging over us. You know, when a water line bursts, you have the inconvenience of losing the water, and certainly that's expensive. But when a sewer line breaks, you got big problems. That sewer is going somewhere, and chances are it's going to end up in the creek. And then I have the health folks, everybody's after me to get it cleaned up. And it's not inexpensive. You've got a vacuum. Anyway, what we're trying to do is to minimize and eliminate that. I am slowly rehabilitating every lift station that needs it. Currently, I have 2 stations that are most critical. One of them at 70th Street in Kimberly, and the other one is Waterwood. The 70th Street Kimberly station is critical in moving the water onto the Waterwood station. The Waterwood is our lifeline. If it goes down, it doesn't matter what the rest of the lifts are doing, because it's the one that transfers to the treatment center. On the Waterwood, one of the things that we desperately need to do is to add a generator in addition to replacing with bigger motors. But we do need to add a generator in the event we have a power outage. That unit needs to run regardless of what the others might be suffering from, because it's the one that transfers everything to the plant. What our ultimate goal is to improve the water and sewage for the community, which will enhance development. At the present time, it would be hard-pressed for the town of Greenwood to do any kind of extensive expansion, whether it be residential or even any large commercial, because we need the sewer water infrastructure. Those are two things that will happen once we complete this. We look at it from the standpoint of the west side of Caddo Parish is a real potential area for growth. We have had good growth over the last 10 years, actually, and we anticipate that that will continue. We have a number of developers who have eyes on it, have discussed possibilities, but we're not prepared at this point to take on more demands on what we currently have. Our water system, our new plant should be online by the end of June of next year. And hopefully our lift stations will consequently be ready to go at that same time. What we are looking for, and on the last page that I provided you is a breakdown of the cost to rebuild those two stations. And approximately, just to round it off, approximately $500,000 is what we're looking for in order to redo that and to get those stations up. And I will be happy to answer any questions you might have. If you would like to discuss any of these things with my engineer, I asked him to come for that purpose. So, anybody have questions, comments?
Commissioner Cox.
So basically, what we're looking at is economic growth in the west side of the parish. You already have, how many truck stops there?
We've got four right now. There's two of them at exit 3, and there's two of them at exit 5.
Okay. And builders have shown interest in land development out there?
We've got several who are just, in essence, in a holding pattern. They're not building a lot. We do have homes under construction all the time. I mean, not dozens, but one or two here, one or two there. Each, I think if you go back and look through the records, almost monthly, we've had new home construction.
Okay. And the funds are strictly for the sewer?
Sewer. We've got our water pretty well under control with the bond issue. And these are things that, you know, we worked out a structure, a cost structure, as well as how we were going to pay for it. We did have a water rate increase, and that, of course, with our water is also sewer. So both of those items have increased. First time we've had an increase in sewer and water since 2006. And we did make an increase, but we think that, well, we know right now, looking at the numbers, the funds are there to pay for the water. And what we're asking for is a little help with our sewer.
But you really can't have one without the other, can you?
Right, we need both of them.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Dominic.
You had, I guess, one quick question, Mayor. Are any of these roads or people that you guys are providing water or sewer to, are they all located in the city or some?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Timberline is not part of the town
That's
of
what I
Greenwood.
was going to ask. So Timberline is in the parish.
It's in the parish. And it's
Y'all have water there too?
We do.
Okay.
And that goes back to years ago when Greenwood had a community water system. And they were selling water to anybody who was willing to buy it.
Well, do they have sewer? How's their sewer?
They are all septic in that
Okay.
area. We do not do sewer in
So
Timberline.
this would provide sewer to that community?
No, sir. No. Not what we're doing with the sewer, all of these plans right here are strictly for in-town use.
On the
And to
sewer.
be able to expand, you know, a new development that needs additional sewer, that's where we're looking to provide that. But we are not in a position to provide sewer for
Outside the city, it's just inside the
Right.
city? Okay.
Yes, sir.
But the water issues where y'all are expanding, which kind of ties into everything,
Well,
are being expanded outside the city?
We're not aggressively expanding it, but my approach is if a community comes to us and we have the capability to provide the water, and they can provide the water line to us to tie in, we will provide the water. But we are not aggressively trying to add water to all of the areas around. Now, if a water line runs in front of your home and you're not part of the town of Greenwood, yes, we will be happy. You pay the cost to tie in,
Sure.
and we will provide you water. And we have done that in many of areas of Greenwood, but our main focus is to provide the water to all of our existing customer base, plus any additional customers we would get within the town of Greenwood, as well as on the sewer, maintain the current sewer system, and be able to expand it within the community.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. President, and Commissioner Dominic already answered the question. I just want to say, as this relates, moving forward, this is one of those things I think where as a parish, we really need to look at trying to assist because, you know, we do other things and we help with Shreveport, the city. I look at this as an investment in the quality of life as well as an investment for economic growth. And if we can stabilize or even improve that infrastructure there and help that go even further, it'll be a benefit not only to the town of Greenwood, but for the parish of Caddo. And so,
Yes, sir, absolutely. No, I think that's one of the big things, and of course, we're interested, those folks who want to move out to Greenwood, it doesn't matter where they come from. I think that here, you would much rather those folks stay in Caddo Parish than go into another parish.
Absolutely.
And because then the tax base remains within the community. So,
Commissioner Cox, second time.
I need some information from Baylor. You knew you weren't gonna get out of here without saying something.
Oh, God, we'll be here till midnight now.
All right, 3 minutes on your answer.
Thank you.
So basically, the sewer side, give me a time frame of how long that would take. Mayor wants to bring it on the same time the water is. Is that feasible, or to your?
It's entirely feasible. The sewer, like the mayor said, he's rebuilding 2 lift stations right now of the 4 major ones he has. The ones that he's discussing with you guys, ladies and guys, is actually his 2 largest ones. That's why they're the costliest ones. He could get to work with, if he had the money, he could get to work right now on those lift stations. Not only improve them, but expand them so that they would accommodate Greenwood and what might develop in Greenwood.
Now, you could probably answer me, and Mary, you could this, and this is my last question, Mr. President, is that there was a meeting not too long ago where Bethany is now buying water from Texas. Is that correct? Or going to?
well, that was the consensus at the time. Now, whether that's come to fruition, I'm not sure.
So would your project finish be able to help the town of Bethany?
I don't think it's an economically feasible project because they're approximately 5 miles down the hot down 79. And in order to do that, we're going to have to probably run an 8 to 10 inch main.
Yeah.
We're going to need a booster in there, and we're going to need storage tanks. And I just don't think that
They're not gonna split
for the
that
number
cost,
of
huh?
people, yeah, the cost would be prohibitive.
Yeah, I didn't know if Bethany had the funds to split that cost with you or not, so I doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Escudero.
Okay, so, just bring me up to speed a little bit so I'm clear. Your water is not your issue, correct?
Well, not now because we're rebuilding that.
Right, well, you said you had a bond issue,
We have a
proposal
bond,
passed? That was passed when? When did you get that passed?
Well, it was passed this year. We got the loan, I think we started construction July. So we're,
The citizens of the town of Greenwood passed that, right?
yes.
Okay, and how much money, how much you borrowing to do all that?
Well, the bond is for $5.25 million, and we hope to come in under that, but I can't answer that today because there's still a lot of congestion.
And that was just take care of water. That wasn't focused
strictly
at
water.
sewer.
Yes,
Did you ask for the sewer and did not pass, or just didn't go there?
Well, you know, when a town the size of Greenwood borrows $5 million, there has to be some fiscal responsibility in there. And we figured out that we could handle the $5 million. And if we have to use the full 5, so that's why we went with 5. The sewer conditions, yes, they existed, but I don't want to bankrupt the town.
Understand.
You know, that's, because if I bankrupt the town, you guys are gonna have it.
That's a good point.
That's true.
I understand.
You know, what we're asking is give us a little help. We don't want you to do the whole project.
Yeah.
We've already gone to work on that.
Right.
Do you have any kind of recent economic feasibility study on what the potential for this area would be with adequate resources once you have it done?
I can't give you anything specific. We haven't gone out and done any kind of research on that. I have, you know, some projections that have been done, but most of the projections are old. A lot of things have taken place over the last 10 years, and the validity of it would be questionable. I can tell you that I have a lot more people in the town today than I did 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
And the town is continuing to grow.
Good.
But I don't have the capability to go out and do the intensive physical study that you're looking for.
Well, wasn't looking, I just asked. I'm not looking, I'm not being combative, I'm just asking questions. Yeah, I'm really, I'm sort of with you, and I'm not against you.
Well, you be with me.
But, you know.
Wanted to bring up Veronica from Keachai, straighten you out.
Well, no, I mean, you know, being Catholic, I like to go to confession first, you know, so.
Hey, Veronica comes out, they gotta go in the back and do a little fighting back there.
Okay, so if this is done, this will take care of your water sewer needs for Mr. Hagan? What's the long-term
We
projection?
analyze their plant, their lift stations, and their collection system, their wastewater plant. They have spent some money. I'm not sure if it was appeared on that list, but they've spent some money on the plant in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years, and it's in good shape. They've done a lot of work in the collection system. When they get these 2 lift stations fixed, that ought to be, they're going to be upsized a little bit, so they will accommodate growth for 10 years out there.
Okay. Final question. So this is what you need. You're not going to come back 6 months from now and say, we messed up and we can't finish, or?
The reason I'm here today is because I want to do everything that needs to be done and put it all in our packages that we're working, because the last thing I want to have to do is go to the citizens and say, oops, I made a mistake, I need another whatever. No, sir. We have really studied this. Bagar has done some extensive work, because I had talked with them and I said, I need to look at this plant. Do we need to expand the plant? What does it need? The conclusion is the plant's okay, but we really need to improve the lifts. And of course, there'll be some other manhole wells that need to be redone. I'm more concerned about the pump station and the big dollar items, because it doesn't matter, you know, if you've got a well over here, if there's not a pump pulling the sewer out, it doesn't count.
There you go.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. That's it for his questions and concerns.
Thank you.
Next item,
Next, we have reports, administration report.
Dr. Wilson.
Sir, President Johnson, Commissioners, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Wilson.
A few months ago, a few months ago, you all authorized the staff to go out and do a feasibility study on the I-49 North Corridor. And we'd like to give you an update today on that progress. So, Mr. Ken Ward, would you give us an update, sir?
Yes, as most of y'all know, we've been working with Camaris Limited. They're from Chicago. They've been doing the actual bare bones, basic put together of our possible policies on I-49, the corridor north. They're the same group that's working on the UDC, so we thought it'd be a great time to be able to incorporate both documents at the same time. The information, the draft document that we have, as well as the map that's here, are both on our website. You can go to caddo.org and see those. It's out there for everybody. We're actually having meetings tonight from 5 to 7 with elected officials in Halston, Odessa, Gillum, and everything north. And then tomorrow we have from 3 to 7. We're hosting public meetings as well as we've been in the paper twice already, and we're meeting with Channel 3 tomorrow at 9 in the morning to kind of continue to get our word out so everybody up there so they can come out for the meetings. What I'd like to do is briefly bring up Arista. She's the primary consultant for us to give you a brief synopsis of where we're heading and where we're going. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Some of you I've met before, some I know are new. We are back with actual kind of draft proposals for the I-49 extension and to present those to you, and again, as Ken said, to present those to the officials in the area and the public. I guess very briefly, just to kind of describe this project, as you look at this map with the blue and the orange and the darker orange, what we're looking at is the extension of I-49 through Caddo Parish. And what's going to happen as these interchanges come into play is there's going to be increased demand on what kind of development can occur within them. And what we want to do is not get very strict with what we do with the regulations there, but put some land use controls in place to make sure that the character of the parish is preserved, that the right types of uses are coming in. So as you see, we've broken it down into 3 different types of interchange kind of districts. The first is the dark orange, the interchange 1, and those are the ones that directly front on the interchanges that would have the most demand and would likely attract people driving on I-49. The second is a little bit those that surround those areas, which may have a little bit more demand on them too. So then we've refined the uses for those. And then as you go along the corridor, and again, kind of to keep the rural character of the parish, make sure the quality of development that occurs in the parish is something that people that live in the parish expect, we've placed some very basic controls on that large swath of green. The one thing I want to caution about when you look at the map that's online or as you look at this display, we know there are towns there with their own zoning. I can blame him because he's not here. Chris Jeanette, who's been working closely with me on this project, could not figure out how to get the colors out of the incorporated towns. So we're not proposing anything for the towns that have their own zoning. It's noted on the map every time you see it. You'll see it's just a technical glitch that's throwing the color into the town areas. So as you look at each of these kind of sets of districts that we've got, what we've done is created some basic uses, created some very basic land use controls. Primarily just setbacks are the main concern there. And as you see on this diagram, or this banner that we have here, you'll see there's a very basic use matrix. And within the provisions, we've defined those uses. We've set out a process for a special approval through the Parish Commission for those that may be a bit more intense in this area and kind of need a second look at to see if they're appropriate there. And a development review process that's very basic that just goes through kind of what's coming in here. Is it fitting the character? Is it what we want in this area? So as you look at that, you'll see also things for parking and for signs and for landscape. Again, we've tried to be kind of very basic with the controls and really just get at the heart of kind of what makes a good development site and gives a good impression along the I-49 corridor. So that's kind of a very basic overview of what's going on with the I-49 corridor land use regulations that we've proposed. I'm happy to take any questions.
There are no questions on the board. Nobody has any?
Not yet.
Everybody's coming to the meetings, right? We're going to see you guys a whole bunch of times
I'll be
over
there.
the 2 days.
Oh, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir, thank you. When will the study be completed?
What we've presented today, what's online and what we're presenting in the meetings is actually draft proposals. So what we're looking for is feedback both from the Parish Commission as well as from the public and the elected officials there. When we get that feedback, we'll go back, analyze it, and we'd like to come to you with a draft kind of for adoption and proceeding forward at that point.
The first quarter in 2016?
I would hope so, yes. Again, depends on the feedback, depending on how intense that is, but yes, that would be our goal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll be up there in a little bit.
Mr. Cox?
Yeah, we got to rush out there now because it's raining and we got to drive. So.
Okay, one quick question. As far as when you're starting their zoning, a few of us commissioners, when Bossier was going through theirs, had it zone 1, you could do so much, zone 2, tiers. Right. I mean, what you're doing here is sort of like a tier, but are y'all going to define that as far as the first tier is so much, and you can have a store, the next tier is whatever?
Yes.
I mean,
That's exactly how the regulations are laid out. Kind of the two primary things that would define a tier in a zoning would be the uses that are allowed and kind of the setbacks that are required. And we've done that. So we've kind of refined it with those that are most intensive, that are right on the interchanges. Then there's the second tier that's kind of right behind those, and then what's not on the interchanges in this area. So we've done that same approach.
And remember, we started off with a 1 mile corridor and we extended it to 3 miles. So
Right.
So that's the reason why there's so much, tilting out there, because we did go 3 miles versus what we first talked about was the 1 mile. So we can look at bringing that back in, making it a little tighter if we need to be, or however. But I think we really need to see this graphic and visit with the folks in that area to see what they wanted it. And that's what we're going to do this week.
And that's my main concern. We got I-49 for transportation and trucks and all that to make it more feasible, but we can't forget about the small towns that are on the outside now looking in and missing that revenue. So what are we going to do to help them maintain? We don't want to put them out of business.
Right.
I think this will help. I think by having proper regulations in place will help spur development. It's proven in other areas, as long as we do it very calculated and not to, step on their toes.
Sounds good to
We
me.
tried to structure the tiers so that the most intensive was really that kind of the traffic and the uses you get coming directly off an interstate. And then benefit the communities as you start to spread out and kind of protect them, but give them an economic development benefit as well.
We've all been there. When you travel, we get off an interstate or we show up to a new town, and you can tell when there's been nice zoning in place. The signs are all there, the landscaping's all there. I just came from a place and I was like, wow, something's really changed here. What is it? And it was very, very attractive, and they must have done some very similar type of activity there.
Got one more. Hold on, Ken, don't go nowhere.
With Commissioner Dominic and Commissioner Johnson's permission, would y'all offer these 2 maps to the museum and Vivian when you're finished with them?
Sure, they're all yours. Once
Right.
we just get them
Ken.
printed and ship them to you, so that's up to Ken.
Before they get rolled up and shoved in a storage room.
Well,
They might want it up there.
I would actually expect this to change some after our meetings this week. So, these are just the working document. This isn't the final, I don't believe it'll be the final one, but yes, whatever we do, if they want them, they can have them.
Can you send us those too?
The actual full document is actually on the website, caddo.org. It's there for us to see. Sorry. I've been saying that spiel for the last couple of weeks. So they're all on the website. You can see the full draft as well as the map as well.
Okay.
That's all.
That's it.
Thank you.
Next item. Thank you.
Next time we move to communications committee reports.
Don't see nobody on the board. Next item.
President's report.
I'll save mine to Thursday. Next item.
We have no old business. We move to new business. Zoning case P2115 in regards to ordinance number 5548 of 2015, amending the zoning property located on the south side of North Lakeshore Drive, 230 feet south of Riviera, Caddo Parish, from B2 to R1D.
Move to Thursday.
Second.
Moved by the
Beat you,
chair.
David Bird.
Second by Commissioner Bowman.
Oh, that's cool.
That's okay. 1 out of 50 ain't
Let's
bad.
David,
If you want to make
ready to do the.
Thank you, President. You're the
I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Lane.
I'd like to englobo P2115, P2215, P2315 for Thursday.
Second.
Substitute motion by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by the chair to englobo P2115, P2215, P2315. Let's vote. That passes 9-0.
Next, we move to authorize the introduction of ordinance number 5551, amending budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the general fund 2015 to provide an additional appropriation of $42,000 for legal fees.
Second.
By the chair, second by Commissioner Escaday.
No question.
Bowman was coughing, so that wasn't Thibodeau. Okay. Commissioner Thibodeau.
I'd like to englobo ordinance 5551 through 5554.
Second. Okay, substitute motion to englobo 5551, 5552, 5553, 5554. And seconded by Commissioner Bowman. See no one that wishes to speak on that? Let's vote. That passes 9-0 on those.
Next, we move to authorize resolution number 65, authorize publication notice of intention to create the North Caddo Economic Development District, State of Louisiana, under Authority Part 227, Title 33.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Watts. Got any global on this one?
I'm passing it, yeah.
All right. Wish no one that wishes to speak on that. Let's vote. Dominique.
Got it,
That
sir.
passes 9-0.
Authorize Resolution 66, approving the issuance of not exceeding $450,000 of sales tax bonds, Series 2015, Fire District Number 1.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Dominique, seconded by Chair. See no one that went, Commissioner Thibodeau.
Globo.
It was coming.
The remaining resolutions.
Second.
So, we're going Globo Resolution 66, 67, 68. Got a second?
Second. By Commissioner Smith.
Okay, second by Commissioner Smith. Let's
Hey,
vote.
I ain't saying it no more.
Your time will come around again.
That passes on movement to Thursday.
Authorize reappointment to the Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission, Mr.
Fifth
John
Thursday.
Escudero.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Lynn.
You sure we want to do this?
Yes, we do. Yes, we're sure.
Everybody on board on that? See no one, let's vote. I thought I did. Yeah, okay. That passes 9-0.
Authorize resolution declaring November as Homeless Awareness Month.
So move.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Lynn. Commissioner Watts.
Commissioner Bowman, what are we gonna do for Homeless Awareness Month?
Well, maybe we can have not only something, well, a proclamation for President and Vice President and the Commission, but maybe we can even join a part and
Have a
help
slumber
assist like
party.
some care package or something.
What about, they have those different, if somebody get together and go feed the homeless at some of those
Right.
shelters or something
Okay,
like
well,
that.
we can do that.
We can
Maybe
figure it out, they do some of that stuff.
Yeah,
volunteers.
We don't even have to go that far. We can do it right in front of the courthourse on the Saturday.
That's true.
Okay, well, let's do it all together now. So what's Saturday?
Okay.
Or Saturday morning, we can go right there and the homeless folks are already there.
And let's just do more than feeding because they need more things like off,
Put
bug
something together
repellent.
by Thursday.
Hand sanitizer.
Put something together by
Yeah.
Thursday.
All
Get back with us and we'll move on.
Because I think we need to do more than just resolutions when we're passing things. I think we need to be more proactive.
Put together by Thursday.
I concur, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Let's vote on. Thibodeau, yes.
Yeah, let's include end of the year appointments to Thursday.
Second.
You got me.
In Globo, the end of the year appointments to the authorization for the declaration to feed the homeless.
We also have another proclamation.
Yeah, we'll do that one next after since he in Globo this one into that one. Commissioner Cox, you had
Oh,
something?
I'm way past you.
Let's vote.
You overlooked me, so I just kept my mouth shut.
Well, you was after Thibodeau. That passes 9-0. Now we have some new stuff to.
Authorize proclamation honoring World War II veteran and community activist
Let's move
Mr.
by-
James Buggs.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Watts. Let's vote. All right, then we also have,
Commission will convene into executive session.
then you have something too?
For what purpose?
You have something?
No, we already did that. He is.
We already done ours.
Adjourn?
Yeah, we've already done ours.
Greenwood, Mayor Greenwood.
Okay, all right. Yeah, next is the convene for executive session, which all the commissioners, the clerk, the administrator, the attorneys, Lucky, and Eric, and Henry,
Everybody else?
to stay, and everybody else can go. Along with,
We need to make a motion?
Yes, got it.
okay, somebody, I made a
second it.
motion to keep us all in here, and then y'all gonna second it. So that's seconded by Commissioner Escalade.
Doc, I'll see you.
Let's vote.
Okay, Doc, I'll see you.
I ain't trying to get out of here.
That passes 9-0.
He's gonna man the door. You know he's the door.
He man the door?
He's
gonna
a-
man the door? Okay, cool.
I muted all.
Well, he on board.